but what they got was quite different from what they had expected. And you took over last year, May 29th. And between May 29th and now, a lot of workers are due for promotion. Some are due for confirmation, while others are due for conversion. But up to this point, nothing seems to be said as regards this, and a lot of people are wondering what is going on. So my question, Your Excellency, is what's the position of Abia State government concerning these areas as regards the welfare of workers? Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you. Can we have the man in black suit? Yes, please.
Good evening, My Excellency. My name is Richard Wanaga Eson. I'm from Umoriehi, Isingu. My house is close to the Express Tower. My Excellency, my question, I want to know the measures we are going to take concerning this communique from Ministry of Transportation on June 13th, 2024, saying that all the illegal loading and offloading or illegal motor park within the Express Tower should go to Ohia Park. My Excellency, myself, my family, we are worried now because they say the army said they don't want them to be closer to them. Sir, please, if I don't know what you're going to do about this issue, we are worried because if anything goes wrong within the checkpoint there, me and my family and our village are not safe. Thank you.
All right, please. Obviously, it's not with the radio. We're sorry about that, but then he has asked his question. We'll still give you opportunity to make it up to 3. Please, you're there.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Sanders Okeke Otiwa. I work with CKFM. Your Excellency, my question is simple and straight to the point. In your first year, you tried recovering the infrastructure deficit of Abia State. Abians want to know what will be the focus of your second year in office. Thank you very much.
Okay, so we make up for the media now.
Yeah, you raised your hand earlier on, all right? Give to him, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. My name is Kingsley Onwoka from Rapid FM. Your Excellency, you just celebrated your 1 year in office. My question to you this evening is, what legacy do you hope to leave after your tenure? And what step are you taking to achieve that?
Remember, we said 1 question. So, having taken 3 questions from the radio, we shall give His Excellency the opportunity to respond before we move on to the next platform. Can we have some quiet, please? Thank you.
All right. Are we all together now? Thank you. Kingsley, okay. Your question is about welfare of workers. And I thought workers' welfare has now been prioritized because workers are now receiving their salaries on the 28th or even before then, every month, unfailingly. At least you know you can plan. And like I had announced earlier, we are waiting for the negotiations that are happening at the center so that we can do something about minimum wage, which will affect every other wage. Now you are talking about promotions, conversion, and all that. I didn't hear you talk about demotion. Is demotion part of it too? The motion is not part of it. Okay. All right. So, interestingly, at the last ESCO, I had instructed the chairman of the Civil Service Commission and the head of service to sit down and look at promotions and the like. And from reports that I got, I think the last time promotions were done was in 2021. So that throws up quite some challenge. But at least let's look at it and see what we can do. So we are not ignoring it. But you must also admit that a lot of things went wrong, just like in every other sector. So we are not retrieving from ground zero. We are actually retrieving from negative. So it becomes a bit more challenging and more difficult. So you have to bear with us. It must also be said that a lot of times when civil servants speak, including their representatives, the unions, they tend to forget that they represent a very small percentage of the citizens of the state. So you must have that at the back of your mind. So, whenever you do actions, whenever you take actions like this, you are addressing the civil service, right? But beyond the civil service, there's a whole lot of people that also need to be impacted by government. So when we are building roads, we are not just building it for people who are not civil servants. We are building it for everyone, and civil servants will use those roads. When we restore power, when we fix the environment, when we fix the educational sector, when we fix the health sector, is for everyone. So we must do all those. At the same time, we are looking at workers, which we must clearly define as civil servants' welfare. Because I'm also a worker myself. Right? So you better go and tell NLC that they need to also be fighting for our welfare. Those of us that are not on the payroll. I hope I've answered you. Okay, so we are not ignoring it. It's just that because things have actually gone so bad, so you probably not be able to retrieve them in one day. Richard was talking of illegal parking around his house, here, right? He says he stays close to the toll gate. Okay, the Express Tower, yes. You want to relocate? You can join me in the village. All right. We had actually given that instruction earlier, but we found that we always think about people. When you move people from one place, you must think about where they will move to. And I personally drove into that on here park, and I found that even though the place was expansive, but it was not ready to receive those kind of vehicles we wanted to relocate. That's why we slowed down a little bit, but we'll still do it because we have given instructions that the park should be prepared and, to receive heavy-duty equipment, because it's sometimes or most times an eyesore when you are driving down and you see all the parts of the road littered with heavy vehicles. It's also the same case at Owerenta, and we're also working on Owerenta. Sanders Okeke right? Otiba. Was asking what our focus for second year is. I thought I had spoken about it. We have areas that I've spoken about: education, healthcare, infrastructure. The decay was so much that you can't, in 4 years, you won't say you have delivered on infrastructure. So it remains on the front burner. Agriculture, just name it. And of course, the major thing that will happen this year is migrating us from the moribund analog economy to a digital economy. In the next few days, I'll be announcing a Chief Information Technology Officer for the state. I'll do that in the next few days, and that is to prepare us for the digital transformation of Abia State. And that will be heralded by the broadband technology that we're already at the final stages of discussion, so that wherever you are, you can have access to data, internet-enabled data. Not the ones that work and then go off, work again, go off, and all that. So we are preparing our state for the next century. Kingsley Onwuka was asking of legacy. You know, I'm always worried when people talk about legacy project, that one. I don't intend to have a legacy project, because all the projects that I'm embarking on are legacy projects. So when we say we are going to build a medical village, it's a legacy project. When we say that we want our schools to be recognized, once you see a school in Abia, you know it's a public school. That's legacy in itself. When we say that we want our roads to look good, when we say we want our environment to be decent, not when you come, you are looking for something to cover your nose, like it used to be. So for me, those are, don't think I want to set up one project and maybe print my name on it. I'm sure you wouldn't have seen my billboards or any project being named after me. I've told my colleagues, no project will be named after me. So I'm not here for self-aggrandizement. So it's all for our people. Okay, so I'm not going to have a project named after me. I'm not going to have a legacy project. But anyone you want to call legacy project, so be it. I don't know if I've answered you, Kingsley. Or is there any particular one you want us to name after you? Maybe we can call it Kingsley Onwuka Project. All right, thank you very much.
Okay, Abians, non-Abians listening, wherever you are, this is Dr. Alex Otti Speaks to Abians. An interaction, it's live on BCA 88.1 FM, Flow 94.9 FM.
Magic 102.9 FM, Enyimba 94.3 FM.
Family Love 99.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.1 FM.
Real 99.1 FM, Sun FM 91.3.
Sun FM 91.9 Aba and Zik 96.3 FM.
Spain 95.3 FM and Rapid 96.5 FM.
It's also streaming on AFN News, ABN TV, Iberia TV, and other online platforms.
If you want to send in your SMS,
the government led by His Excellency,
please use the number 0907 462 1067. Again, 0907 462 1067.
Next will be the television, the electronics media. Television, please. Let's see your hands. We'll take it from there. I want to apologize to those of radio who couldn't see you over there, so we taught everyone actually clustered around here. So please raise your hand. We'll be standing up to see you now. Nena, please.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I know you had already mentioned things about the civil servants, but I have... Okay, I should introduce myself, thank you. My name is Nena Gabriel. I report for TVC News. Your Excellency, I know you've already mentioned things about the plans you have for the civil servants. Okay, I don't know if leave allowance is part of what you told the head of service to, take care of, or that you want to take care of. If it is not, I know that the past administration was owing leave allowance of civil servants from 2018 to 2022, and of course 2023 is been, and I'm aware that you are supposed to pay for 2023. It is now in arrears, sir. Do you have plans to offset that? People already know you as one who clears arrears. So workers will also want to, experience that too. And secondly, please.
One question.
Nena.
Thank you, Nena.
We know why you sacked the former CPS. Let us not be reading things online. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Next, please.
All right, please. Okay, please. Go ahead.
Good evening, Your Excellency. I am Chinwe Ugili, and I work with News Central B. Your Excellency, my question is on health. The schools of nursing and midwifery in Abia State seem to have become a cash cow for the directors of nursing school. And it's been happening over the years. It didn't start with you. But I'm concerned because I happened to visit one of the schools recently, precisely in Abriba, and I saw a deep rot in that school. Your Excellency, their infrastructure is not good, and the students are meant, in fact, the girls in that school, their toilet facility, I don't even want to imagine it. It was terrible. Myself and my camera person, we saw a lot there. And then shortly after, I learned that the former Commissioner for Health suspended the principal of that school with the accountant, also the accountant in the School of Nursing in Aba. Your Excellency, I'd like to know the suspensions, will they still hold? And then, what can you do to ensure that parents don't keep, because they keep extorting parents. The director of, I'm calling name now. The director of nursing school in Abia State needs to answer some questions, because some parents don't want to come up to talk, but they've spoken to us, the students as well. So they charge fees that are beyond what the state government officially collects from these people. Your Excellency, you need to look into this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. One more person from the TV. All right, from the back. You in red, you raised your hand. Yes, please. Thank you. Yes, you raised your hand. It's not of the TV. Okay, thank you. Can we have another person from the television? Someone who is truly from the TV now. All right. Please, if you're not from any particular media, don't raise your hand when that media platform is mentioned. Thank you.
Good evening, Your Excellency, sir. I must commend your efforts so far on infrastructure. Abia is actually wearing a new face. Having said that, sir, my name is Grace Dorcas Onyekachi, and I'm reporting for Rapid TV.
Okay.
I'd like to find out, Your Excellency, the reason behind the appointment of local government chairmen, which presently we know them as mayors, depriving Abians the opportunity to vote for the chairman of each local government areas. So I'd like you to respond to this, sir. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Nana Gebra asked a question about leave allowances. My understanding of leave allowances is that they are due when you go on leave, right? So we don't have any problem paying people who are going on leave. So, but if there are arrears that have not been paid, we can look at them and be sure that they are actually arrears. Okay. Again, I'm just getting to know that, so we'll take it offline, and I would find out from the Accountant General and the Head of Service. So it will be one of the things they will be looking at. We believe that a laborer is worthy of his wage. So, and because government is a continuum, you inherit both assets and liabilities. If you are lucky, you have net assets. If you're unlucky, you have net liabilities. But you have to deal with it. So I've taken note of that. You tried to ask a second question, but you were stopped. So since we do not encourage indiscipline, we take it that you didn't ask a second question. So Chinwe, thank you for bringing the issue of schools of nursing and midwifery. I thought I had solved the problem, but if the problem still remains, then that means that we haven't solved it. If you recall, even the exam itself, we had to do it about 3 or 4 times before I believe we got it right. But if there's still extortion going on, and you have mentioned specifically the director of nursing in the state, and I would ask my colleagues who are seated here to please remind me so that we can get down to this person that is the architect of corruption. Unfortunately, we have people who are unduly afraid. You see things going wrong, you don't bring them up. How do we solve the problem? So I must thank you for bringing this to my attention, and you can be sure that we're going to investigate and deal with it. We have zero tolerance for corruption. Grace was asking a question about the mayors. The mayors are transition council chairmen, and constitutionally we are allowed to appoint transition council chairmen preparatory for local government elections. So there are a lot of things we are dealing with at the same time, but we are not losing sight of the election that we believe that must happen anytime soon. So we are getting ready for local government elections. And once that happens, then the transition committee will cease to exist. I hope you're happy with that response. All right. Thank you very much.
Okay. I pray that the governor will see to every area so that he would cease to be the governor that clears arrears in Abia State. All right, please, we'll move straight to online. Online, let's have your hands, please. Online, yes. Okay, we have Abian. Abian is there.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, I'm glad to be here today also to ask questions. The other time I was blacklisted, but today I think I'll ask this question because our governor is a loving governor. Sir, my name is Ifeanyi Okali for Abian TV and radio. You talk about welfare and the well-being of Abians. I want to ask this question. What is the state of things with regards to investigation of activities of inner galaxy steel company in Okwa West? In line with the death of a lady in a company recently, we are told, despite an order for the company to shut down pending conclusion of investigation, it is still operating. It's still operating. Please, sir, we would like Abians to know what is going on there, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Still on the online. Okay, Mr. Menike.
Your Excellency, thank you again for this opportunity to ask one question.
Yes.
My name is Emenike Irebu, but I have one small observation, Your Excellency. That one is not a question. It seems as though there is some deportation of some mentally ill people into our capital city. I don't know where they are coming from, Your Excellency. Please, it's an observation, it's not a question. So please, Your Excellency, observe it so that we'll know what we're going to do about that. My question is this, Your Excellency. Since you took over power, one thing Abians have got to know you for is keeping to your words. There was, earlier this year, the Ministry of Lands came up with a 30 days CFO arrangement. And the arrangement kicked off. But for about 4 months or thereabout now, it's been difficult to get that CFO in 30 days. What exactly is the issue, Excellency? Thank you very much.
Okay, let's also, okay, Mr. Kuro, PU.
Thank you, moderator. Your Excellency, my name is Promise Uzoma Okoro. My question, before I go to my question, I would like to observe, like Emenike did. It's as if when we talk about welfare of Abians, we are channeling it and narrowing it only to the civil servant. I am not a civil servant. I also need welfare. All of us need welfare. So sometimes those who always channel the problem of this state to civil servants should know that there are vast majority of Abians who are businessmen and women that also need a conducive environment from government for them to carry out their businesses. Your Excellency, sir, my question is in the local government system. While you were speaking, you made mention of building, renovating 90 schools. And Your Excellency, you agree with me that these schools are rightly domiciled in the local government. And a situation where there is no proper government in place. Yes, I listened to you, sir, as you were talking about by law, by way of the Abia State transition law, the governor is empowered to appoint TCs or mayors. But where there is no elected executive, because you came on board with the campaign promise and criticize very clearly that you believe that local government should be run by elected officials who should be government that are closer to the people. Do you agree or believe, sir, that without an elected officials in the local government system, that some of these schools to which you are planning to renovate or renovated already, that they will be properly handled and taken care of? Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. If you were asking a question about inner galaxy, to the best of my knowledge, the foreigner who was alleged to be involved in the killing of the lady has been apprehended and he is still being detained. I do not have information that anybody asked that the company be closed down. If that position was going to be taken, I would oppose it. The simple reason is that you do not punish the innocent because of a crime committed by one person. So that place has hundreds of people, including Abia people, working there. And the time you take a decision that is irrational and close down the company, all those people will be out of job. So to the best of my knowledge, nobody gave that instruction. And that's probably why it wasn't carried out. Emenike, we thank you for your question. You observe that it does appear that somebody is shipping mentally deranged people into Abia. We need to investigate it. You need to be sure that, first of all, that they are mentally deranged. And secondly, that they are from Abia. Or they are not from Abia. But just this evening, I had approved that a committee be set up so that we can read the state of people who may have challenges taking over our streets, because we feel it is a big risk to themselves and to the general public. There used to be this woman that would throw herself and her child on moving vehicles. I instructed that they should pick her up and send her to a remand home. We need to rid our streets of such people. It is not that we don't care about them, but we actually do care about them, but we need them to be off the streets because the state can provide for them. Now, your question about 30 days CFO. To the best of my knowledge, and I checked yesterday, I probably didn't check today, I do not have any request pending approval. In fact, when I checked yesterday, I said, okay, maybe there's no request. What had happened was that we had automated the process. So from my office, I'll just call up the system, get into the app, and approve seamlessly. And the last time, I think I had like 30 or 40, and I approved them in one day. So since then, I don't have any. So I'm going to be engaging with the Honorable Commissioner for Lands and Housing and find out if there is a glitch in the system or if it is that there are no requests for approval. PUO, you re-emphasize the point I made earlier, that civil servants are just in the tiny minority of the population. And just like you and I, we are not civil servants. So we need some welfare too. So if you do find some welfare, don't forget me. Now, it's very untrue that the administration of schools lie in the hands of local governments. Those schools are public schools, and public schools are under the supervision of the state. So the schools we are retrofitting and renovating belong to the state. So even if you have 10 elections, 10 local government elections, it will not change anything in terms of management of the schools. And even the government itself, once you have proper managers for the school, you hand the schools over to them and they will do what they have to do. So that is not a reason either for or against holding local government elections. I've responded about holding local government elections, and I've said I am not opposed to it. Of course, as a Democrat, I believe that people should have the opportunity to pick their leaders. But of course, elections don't hold in one day. It requires a lot. So ours will happen when we are ready for it. So that would be my response to you. I guess that's it.
Sorry, Your
have any
Excellency.
more?
Yes, we have a few
Okay.
who have sent in via SMS.
Okay,
I
go
will
ahead.
just run through them. Good evening, my able governor. I am Sir Nelson from Umuahia North. Please, sir, what specific initiatives are you implementing to improve teacher training and development programs in the state? His Excellency, sir, good evening. I am Felix Wobilo. Please, sir, I want to know the condition of the wage award being promised by the federal government and also has already been paid by some other state governments of the Federation. Please, sir, what is the fate of the state civil service?
1 year down.
Enoch Ekuru asks, a gully erosion has ravaged Opulukumo Sunsulu Road, so much that she's been cut off from her neighboring communities. At its early stage, it had led to the death of an indigent. The road connects Ururuka Road to Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway via Mbausi. When it rains, the homesteads of some people are usually flooded. I sent this SOS to you to avoid more loss of lives and for easy access to the community and easy passage across her. Good evening, Your Excellency. Please, we are Abia youths who worked during the election and voted. Sorry, sir. Is it the one I just read last? This one says, Honorable, good luck, Ohuebi. Ohuebi. He's asking, good evening, Your Excellency. Please, we are Abia youths who worked during election and voted for you. Until now, youth empowerment, and we are left out. Please, what do you have for us and when, sir? This other person didn't write his name, but he sent a question. Please, sir, I deeply appreciate what you are doing, but in case of ABSU staff banking with Union Bank who have not received anything, what is their hope? Joy from Abba wrote in, 300 plus staff of the Ministry of Education were sent to the classroom to teach while some teachers who were employed in 2023 October were sacked. Clarify us, please, Your Excellency. She didn't send her name. Okay.
All right. Teacher training. That's from Nelson. We've spoken about it, and we are in the process of getting the Abia State College of Education Technical fit for purpose. Unfortunately, when I spoke with the provost today, he told me that he had only about 120 students. That's very sad. So, and I've scheduled a meeting with him, Commissioner for Education, and other interested parties, so that we can look into that place and properly get it ready to function as a college to train teachers. It is so critical. So it's a very good question. Felix Obilo, wage award. People have been talking about wage award. I said they should just be patient. Before we give you an award that is not paid. So we'll try and clear up all the, somebody just talked about leave allowance. And if that is correct, we should also pay them. Those should be paid first. And then we'll now go into all the whistles and bells, including the new minimum wage. So we've not forgotten it, and we are going to deal with it. Enoch, I've taken note of the gully erosion site between Obingwa and from what you said, Isialangwa North through Ururuka. So I'm going to have the commissioners for environment and commissioner for work go and inspect the place. Abia youth that voted for us during the election, good luck. Thank you very much. Is that good luck, Jonathan? Another good luck. So thank you for voting for us. Everything we are doing is for the youth. And palliative is good, but palliative is not a solution. So just like giving you fish and teaching you how to fish. So everybody we send to Nasarawa State will qualify as a youth. So those are the things we are doing. We can as well buy rice and share to all of you. You eat the rice and this, when it's over, it's over. But if you now know how to produce rice, you will not only eat rice, you can also sell rice to buy other things. So I want us to get out of this handout mentality and begin to do. There are a lot of our young people doing great things with their hands in Aba and Omuahia. And we are doing everything possible to encourage them to keep doing what they are doing. For me, that is more enduring than handing over palliatives to you. ABSU staff who bank with Union Bank, I don't know if I can help. If you've chosen to bank with Union Bank and your bank is not solving your problem, you can port. But I can assure you that we have paid all of them. So if your bank is not able to pay you, it's not because we haven't paid. So it's your choice where you want to bank. All you need to do is to tell us where you want to bank, give us the account number, we'll feed it into the system and we'll pay you. We've paid everyone. I guess that's the last question that I took.
Thank you, Your Excellency. But because of our time, we won't go further with questions. We want to, this time, thank all the partnering media stations for being parts of the production today. BCA 88.1 FM, we thank you. Flow 94.9 FM, we also thank you.
Magic 102.9 FM, Enyimba 94.3 FM. Thank you.
Family Love 99.9 FM, Vision Africa 104.9
FM, Flow 94.9 FM, Rapid 96.5 FM, Spin 95.3 FM, Buzz 88.9 FM, Family Love 99.9 FM, Zik 96.3 FM, Enyimba 94.3 FM, Rio 99.1 FM. Also streaming on AF News, ABN TV, Ibere TV, and other online platforms. Announcer Ferdinand Ekoma, Special Advisor to the Governor on Media and Publicity.
Rem Abakuru. Thank you too. Before we go, Your Excellency will please give his closing remarks.
All right. So let me thank the moderators for a wonderful job. The media team, thank you very much. Gentlemen of the press, thank you for joining. My people in the Abia who joined from their homes, thank you for being part of this media chat for this month. I know that Nena Gabriel, she probably is not very happy that I didn't answer her question. But I needed to make the point that once there is a rule, we have to respect it. So let me now bend over and answer you. You talked about my former chief press secretary. And your question was, why did I sack him? And my response is that I did not sack him. What we did was reorganization. And anytime you are given an appointment, it is not a permanent appointment. Even my own appointment is not permanent. In the next 4 years, the mandate you gave me will be over. Next 3 years, really. 1 year is gone. And I need to apply again, right? So no appointment is permanent. So reorganizations happen, new blood is brought in, people get reassigned. So I was reading reports. Abia Governor sacks his chief press secretary. I say I didn't sack anyone. Okay? I hope I've answered your question. And somebody also said former commissioner for health. I think it was from the middle. I said no, we have not determined that that position has become vacant. I had explained earlier that it was a suspension pending the investigation that is going on. And it can only be declared vacant when the report comes in and she's indicted. So if you were applying and celebrating, please stop celebrating. It's not over yet. So I want to thank you for joining. I want to thank you for the support you are giving the government, and I want to encourage you to keep supporting this government because it's your government. Like I always say, you will always, you cannot, and that's why it's called democracy. Democracy is a system whereby the majority will have their way, but that doesn't take away the say of the minority. So people are free to air their opinions. But the important thing is that whenever you look at the system, you will find that 95% of the people are happy with what we are doing. And for me, that's what's most important. The insignificant, tiny 5% that are willing, they will continue willing. The best we can do for them is just to sympathize with them. And then for those of you who are more informed than me, you need to go back and find out the where they are coming from. You find a majority of them that are wailing because the feeding bottle has been taken from their mouth. And I have news for them. That feeding bottle is gone forever. So they need to go and find another job they will do. If it is about the feeding bottle, we have even thrown it away. If you think you get my attention by criticizing and manufacturing facts, I'm not even paying attention. So once again, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining this media chat, and I wish you a wonderful weekend. Thank you.
The national anthem, please.
Please, we'll take the national anthem now. Thank you very much and God bless you. Good night.
1 year down the line, the jinx is being broken in different spheres of Abia economy. Abians are beginning to heave a sigh of relief and breathe the much desired fresh air of freedom as they see and feel the help which Governor Alex Otti promised them in upholding his open and transparent leadership mantra with a view to deepening democracy and ensuring more people-oriented development in all spheres of the state economy. The Governor of Abia State, His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti, OFR, will this Friday, June 21, 2024, further engage the good people of Abia State as he interacts with journalists and other media practitioners on the activities of his government. The media engagement captioned Governor Alex Otti Speaks to Abians is a monthly no-hold-barred interface that highlights major strides of the administration and provides clarity on programs of the government led by His Excellency Dr. Alex Otti, from infrastructure to education, health, agriculture, industrialization, job creation, security, and general economic development. The governor is always poised and prepared to take your questions and provide answers to them. Date: Friday, June 21, 2024. Venue: Banquet Hall, Government